Thank you for staying with us. To the papers now, and we start off with the Nation newspaper, where the big story there was what we mentioned in the news earlier, and it's this talk about a cabinet rejig at the presidency as non-performing ministers face sack. Presidency hints on imminent action as FEC members get ordered to speak on achievements. Also on the Nation, Youth Corps members' allowance raised to 77,000 naira. ASU issues 14 days strike notice over withheld pay. An agency issues fresh flooding alert. River Niger rises. To the Punch now, cabinet shake-up, also the most prominent story there on this paper. Right, and other stories there. Edo poll marred by vote buying as well as delay. That's from an observer team of the Nigeria Bar Association. Also in the news on the Punch newspaper, FG proposes NIN tax for foreigners. Daily Independent says anxiety grows among ministers as presidency confirms looming sack. Analysts see bleak outlook for Naira, ask CBN to defend it. Reps to focus on security, socio-economic challenges facing Nigerians, and corruption has undermined Nigeria's education sector, says ICPC. Next is this Nigeria. Tinubu to sweep out deadwood ministers as presidency confirms plans to rejig cabinet. This could lead to shoving aside of officials who haven't pulled their weight after more than a year in office. Court stops PDP, NWC, governors, BOT from dissolving Rivers Party executives. Prices of beans, rice, other food items soar in August this year, says the Bureau of Statistics. Let's check out the Nigerian News Direct newspaper. Again, strike looms as ASU issues 14-day ultimatum to federal government over withheld salaries and others. Yaya Bello drags the FCC to Supreme Court, ignores appearance again. Court restrains PDP governors, NWC, others from dissolving pro-Wike excos in Rivers. And on the proposed NIMC bill, FG to tax foreigners earning income in Nigeria. Daily News Hub is next. Disquiet among Tinubu's ministers as cabinet reshuffle looms. Cabinet reshuffle will be based on ministers' performance. The presidency is saying list of ministers to be redeployed and sacked ready. Why government cannot intervene in NNPCL Dangote petrol price controversy? The presidency is giving some reasons there. On sexual harassment scandal at the Army, publish investigation outcome. Ex-female soldier dares the Army body. And full list of all allegations made against U.S. rapper P. Diddy is also on the front page of the Daily News Hub. And finally with me, Silent Times. Tinubu to reshuffle cabinet, says presidency. CBN sells dollars to BDCs at 1,590 to the dollar. Lawyers who comment on matters before the court will be dealt with, says the new CJN, Kekere Ekum. In Ogun State, how cocoa farmers illegally encroach on Ogun forest reserves. A Nigerian government will not intervene in NNPCL Dangote petrol price face-off.
Well, the first with me here is the Blueprint newspaper. 79th UNGA, Tinubu urges world leaders to deepen ties as way out of global challenges, insists on UN Security Council seat for Nigeria. As CJN, I will be remembered for integrity, zero tolerance for corruption. Kekere Ekum warns judicial officers against frivolous ex parte orders, injunctions, seeks end to pre-election matters at appeal court. Security breaches reduced by 65% nationwide, that's according to federal government. Residents flee as flood ravages 10 Kebbi communities. Presidency hints on imminent cabinet reshuffle. On the bottom strip, Tinubu orders rehabilitation of Office for Ministry of Livestock. EFCC tackles Bello as ex-Kogi governor takes case to Supreme Court. 100 primary schools to participate in Headmasters Cup soccer tourney. And above the nameplate, ASO issues fresh 14-day ultimatum, warns of imminent strike. Next is the Daily Times. Africa's role as raw material supplier solidifying its misery, that's according to Tinubu, says extracting raw minerals without processing locally deepens continent's underdevelopment. ASU gives 14-day ultimatum to federal government over unresolved issues, says it shouldn't be held responsible for any industrial action that might result from government's failure to meet new deadline. Court restrains PDP governors, NWC, BOT, others from dissolving pro-Wike PDP exco in Rivers. Presidency, federal government won't interfere in NNPCL Dangote gasoline price battle. Abandoned project, ICPC returns over 500 contractors to site. I won't tolerate corrupt judicial officers, frivolous ex parte orders. Others, acting CGN saying there. The CGN now saying there. Next is First News newspaper. Bobrisky bribery scandal explodes. Interior Minister, EFCC, NBA demand independent probes into 15 million naira extortion allegations. Tinubu set to reshuffle cabinet based on minister's performance. This according to presidency. ASU issues 14-day ultimatum to federal government, threatens fresh strike. Former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai extends a cautious greeting to the reinstated Emir of Kano, Muhammad Sanusi II, at the Arewa Tech Fest in Kano. Presidency, Tinubu won't mediate in Dangote NNPCL fuel price dispute. Senate confirms Justice Kekereakun as CJN. Money laundering, the money laundering case, Yahya Bello heads to Supreme Court. 2 million officers can't secure Nigeria. Lagbaja calls for a rethink. Next is Leadership newspaper. Fuel price war. Tinubu won't double in Dangote NNPCL field. That's according to presidency. Insists PMS regime has been deregulated. Pengerson urges federal government to increase stake in Dangote refinery to 45%. Telecom operators turn to renewables as monthly energy bill hits 56 billion naira. CSOs submit electoral reform memo as National Assembly begins amendment. ASU threatens strike, issues federal government 14-day ultimatum. Sexual harassment, female soldier demands probe report. Federal government approves 77,000 naira as monthly allowance for core members. Expect Tinubu's cabinet reshuffle soon. Next is New Telegraph newspaper. Presidency. Federal government won't intervene in NNPC Limited Dangote refinery fuel pricing controversy. Confirms imminent cabinet reshuffle. Oil theft. NNPC Limited. Others uncover 161 illegal refineries, pipelines. Reps Labour Party caucus. Observers reject Edo Guba result. Newly confirmed CJN kicks against corruption, frivolous orders by judicial officers, wants pre-election cases to terminate at appeal court. Why Nigeria can't retain her medical personnel by VCs. On the bottom strip, yoga, other exercise can curb urinary incontinence, says that's according to study. And CBN banks loan to government up 57.1% to 31.15 trillion naira. Next is Daily Trust newspaper. Hardship. Civil servants go to work twice a week. Even feeding is difficult. Only Lagos, Ogun, Osun approve off days. We pretend we don't know what's happening. That's according to director. It will lead to low productivity. Analyst. Why Tinubu can't intervene in Dangote NNPCL fuel price field. That's according to presidency. And then Publish your investigation report. Discharged female soldier tells army. Next is Platform Times. Lagos targets 21 million residents for immunization. Recruits over 60,000 personnel. 2.3 million children at risk over lack of vaccination. That's according to UNICEF. Ogun timber dealers sound the alarm over illegal cocoa farmers' destruction of forest reserves. NIMET, NAPTIP forge alliance to combat climate-driven human trafficking surge. 2 dead, 2 missing as flood ravages Ibadan. You get photos there. Alleged sexual harassment. Published outcome of investigation. Discharged female soldier tells army. Above the masthead. Appointment of CGN Kekereekun shows Tinubu respects seniority in judiciary. That's according to presidency. Ogun. Police arrest suspect as teenager dies during football match. Next is, last but not least, is the Nation Sport Alive. Chelsea eye Boniface ready to snub Osimhen. You see that on page 7. Dele Bashiru scores, makes assists, and then it's incredible. We also have Odegaard unsure of return date. Man United targets Barella. Arsenal ready to make move for Vlahovic. And then next is, well, so many newspapers, you know, we've actually reviewed this morning, Kemi, with the latest information coming out from here.
All right. So those are the stories. A number of them are, as we have said, quite prominent. They are developing stories, talking about, but of course, quite a number of eyebrows will be raised as regarding the expectations with this plan to reshuffle the cabinet.
That's right.
1 year, more than a year now after the Tinubu administration took off. And now, of course, they were brought in with the warning that, of course, there's going to be periodic checks on them with the KPIs and all of that. And anybody who doesn't, meet that mark will be, any dead wood amongst the cabinet will indeed be weeded out. And, of course, so we're waiting to see how this is all going to pan out.
Who stays and who goes.
Who stays, who goes, who will be moved, because there is to be, a planned movement, across those that are performing.
That's right. So, experts have also been reviewing, trying to see how much they've delivered, in terms of their deliverables, talking about the KPIs and all of that. And we've actually spoken to one of the leaders, looking into the KPIs of the ministers to see whether they are meeting up with the demands of this administration because of the Hope agenda.
Absolutely.
So the president needs to see, the president definitely will be on top of his game to say, listen, I need to deliver and you guys have to help me, just like he told them yesterday. You guys should go out and talk about, sing the achievements of this administration. Let Nigerians know you guys are not talking.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Indeed, we will.